watching Global Talk. Leading international experts of the world media industry gathered in Astana, where they took part in the Tech Forum Central Asia, Innovation in Real Time. The purpose of the event is to gather journalists of Central Asia with the latest technologies and teach them in the field of digital media. The Tech Forum was organized by the United States and Kazakhstan's diplomatic missions, as well as Kazakhstan's press club.
I think the Tech Forum, which takes place in Astana for the first time, is a really great event. It's an exciting program, it's an interactive program, there's nothing stiff about it, and it looks like the participants will have a lot of fun and will extract a lot of use for them, because it will deal with the very fundamental issues relating to the quality journalism. How to mine for data, how to verify facts, how to do quality reporting, objective reporting. I think this is very relevant, and this is a very timely subject for the media in Central Asia. We are still in the infancy in terms of developing the traditions of quality journalism, and it's not a secret that the coverage sometimes is very opinionated. People need to learn to distinguish between reporting and opinions, is one example. So I think this will hopefully spread some good ideas about how to do that.
The forum had an unusual format where the participants had discretion to choose which workshops to visit after a series of quick presentations of experts. For example, data editor of Huffington Post, Shane Sheffield, is a specialist in the field of investigative journalism, data analysis and visualization. Previously, he worked in the publication Center of Investigation Reporting. Shane is a supporter of the open information. In regard, he had a lot of practice. He even developed a special program that allows journalists to send data requests to various authorities. In short, he had much to learn from our colleagues in the online publications.
I haven't been a journalist. I've been a journalist for 6 years now, essentially. I started off working at an online, I've always worked in an online outlet, but I have had the ability to, the opportunity to have some of my work appear in print, right? And it's a totally different universe. A lot of the stuff that we do at Huffington Post, once it publishes, that's not the end of the story. There's lots of follow-up. There's people interacting with us online. They're tweeting at us. They're using Facebook to communicate with us, whether or not they have an opinion, for instance, about the elections are very big in America right now. People have their politicians that they've sided with, and they have very strong opinions about how those politicians are portrayed, right? And so we will be interacting with them online to try and figure out, you know, what the fairest way is, even after the story publishes, or how that will play into the follow-up coverage that goes into it. And also, it's become much more internet-driven sourcing. It's much more common to be able to find people online through LinkedIn, whatever, and be able to communicate with them, ask them questions. There's a whole world of information out there that.
According to the participants of Tech Forum, today in a competitive market, the main advantage is on the side of a person who uses new business models and digital strategy, strengthens the supply of information by the content visualization, data mapping, and other innovative approaches in his work. Therefore, one of the sessions of the conference was devoted to the application of business models in journalism, which allows the authors of articles in the online space to earn the living. The organizer of the training, the representative of the company Beken, Dmitry Chernak. Beken is a crowdfunding platform for journalists, which was founded in 2013. During his tenure, the company paid about $5 million to journalists and journalistic organizations.
The reality is that it's hard to just build up a following right away and monetize that. So I think a good example of this working is with something like YouTube, where there are people who build up giant followings, and then kind of the monetization tools have come afterward. It's never really in YouTube's interest to create those tools, but you know, once you kind of like realize that the advertising isn't like maximizing what you can bring in as a creator, you'll start to investigate other options. And that was kind of how Beacon started.
As the participants of the forum noted, modern media sector is rapidly expanding its presence in the region in the field of online. Familiar to us, the traditional media are superseded to the internet space, and they move to the digital format. However, these trends must be seen as the beginning of new opportunities. Now, when anyone can create a group on the social network and establish a corporate media space, it is necessary to adapt to the new conditions by turning these changes to their competitive advantage.
I also think it's really interesting just because, you know, obviously things are different here than they are in the United States, but I have a lot of knowledge. Like, the reality is people only now are starting to kind of understand the monetization. They were sold on this idea that the ad model was going to save journalism. But as we've seen with kind of like the click rates going down and just the proliferation of Facebook as a platform, you know, that it's not likely going to happen. And I thought it would be really interesting to come here and be able to kind of share my experience with monetization, and like maybe they can't implement the exact same thing like that we have with Beacon.
The forum involved more than a dozen media experts from the US, Britain, the Czech Republic, and Kazakhstan, who, as a part of their interactive training sessions, provided participants a wealth of information in new development trends and challenges in the global information space. The forum participants are confident that the knowledge gained will enable them to properly use media technologies to improve efficiency of communications and achieve their goals. Another significant event in the sphere of new technologies and programming was held in Almaty.
In the southern capital of Kazakhstan, specialists summed up the 10-week marathon startup Incubator and Factorial for the development of advanced mobile applications. The purpose of the event is to even the odds of Kazakh and Western youth in the IT education and gain experience in the creation of breakthrough mobile applications, as well as to identify Kazakhstan as a competitive player in the IT world map. 129 participants in 10 weeks had to set up and run 55 mobile applications in the App Store and Google Play. The culmination of the marathon was a demonstration of young Kazakh talents in the IT sector in the framework of the presentation Demo Day.
Почему мы сделали данный инкубатор? В прошлом году наше мероприятие называлось The Summer Startup School.
Why we decided to hold the incubator? Last year, it was called a summer program for startups. We had fewer people. This year, we have twice as many participants. More than 700 of them have applied. We have picked up more than 100 people, and the guys worked 10 weeks on their applications. The first 4 weeks, they learned from us. At that time, we had more than 15 mentors who have helped the children. We taught them the basics of programming, web design, and marketing. And in the next 6 months, they worked on their applications and eventually created what we see today. The culmination of the marathon was a demonstration of young Kazakh talents in the IT sector in the framework of the presentation Demo Day.
И в итоге создали то, что мы сегодня видим, кульминация всей этой работы – демо-день.
То, что делают молодые ребята здесь, это то, что необходимо.
What young guys are doing here is what the IT industry really requires for further development. That is, the applications and services that they will present to us today is in fact an entire ecosystem, is a system of IT industry. We are the sponsor of the event, including all the incubator. To us, it is very interesting because the development of mobile operators will be greatly influenced by how young people will continue to pursue this line of applications and services, how successfully they will be integrated in the IT industry.
Будет во многом влиять, как мобильные операторы смогут дальше развиваться.
This is a very, very good start. Kazakhstan needs conferences like this in order to promote the knowledge industry. And I said knowledge industry. I started in computers in 1969, and we called that the computer industry at that time. Over time, it evolves into what we call the IT industry, but now we talk about knowledge. Knowledge is sharing of knowledge, sharing of experiences, and this conference today, this incubator, allows our young audience, our young developers to share amongst themselves their ideas and to develop the applications which will make changes in the world.
Selection for the participation in the project was very strict. On average, 6 people were in place. They recruited only the best talented young people between the ages of 16 to 25. All classes were conducted within 10 weeks from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. As a result of hard work, 55 applications have been created, already available in the App Store and Google Play.
От идеи к продукту мы этот этап прошли. Теперь у ребят впереди есть этап от идеи к бизнесу.
From idea to product, this stage we passed. Now the guys have to come from the idea stage to the business to the company building. We plan to work with the guys after the incubator. We plan to help them. And we will follow their careers. Not all ideas will be monetized, since some applications are more social projects. But nevertheless, there are applications that have the potential to have a very large coverage and may grow into something great.
Они являются более социальными проектами, но тем не менее есть идеи, есть приложения, которые в потенциале имеют очень большой охват и могут вырасти во что-то очень большое.
Если говорить о том, что на Западе там как-то крупные компании уже меньше обращают внимание на стартапы и прочие вещи, ну на самом деле...
If we talk about the Western large companies, they already pay less attention to startups and other things. In fact, I think the situation has changed in other direction. Large companies such as Google and Apple, they buy these startups just at the initial stage. We do not see them practically. Most startups are separate units of large companies. For example, there is now fashionable to talk about the Pokemon Go. This company, which was originally a startup, at a time when Google saw its potential, bought it. Well, in a sense, we have not heard about it until it came out as part of Google. It was a subsidiary of Google. That is how we keep up with the times. I think we're doing very well. Moreover, many of the stages of development that took place in the West, we go through them faster. Why? Because we can look back at the experience of other companies. We can reflect on the experience of those countries that went through those stages.
Более того, некоторые этапы развития, которые происходили на Западе, в части именно стартапов, мы проходим быстрее. Почему? Потому что у нас уже мы можем оглядываться на опыт тех компаний, мы можем оглядываться на опыт тех стран, которые это все прошли.
It should be noted that the Project Factoria is a social project that is conducted at the expense of resources of incubators and private investors, which provide financial and informational support. Experts say unequivocally that it is necessary to develop this kind of educational project everywhere in Kazakhstan, since at the moment it is a global trend and demand for the product's IT technology is growing rapidly. And this situation is categorically inadmissible to remain aloof from the processes taking place in the development countries.
Наша цель, когда мы строили инкубатор, это было вообще воздействовать на всю экосистему именно разработчиков в нашей стране, инженеров.
Our goal in building the incubator was to affect the entire ecosystem of developers, of engineers in the field of information technology of the country. And Arman and myself, we're both graduates of the program Bolashak. And to extent we wish to contribute to the development of the country and to train young designers. To change the system itself so that it was more developed, because at some point, quantity turns into quality. The approach in the incubator is all about that we're testing most of the ideas that a company won't have time for. We're few, but every summer we can see how different applications, different ideas can rise and develop into something more. Changing the system by increasing the number of developers in the country, we think that this would be better for everyone.
И меняя экосистему, увеличивая количество разработчиков в стране, мы думаем, что это будет хорошо всем.
Когда мы говорим о том, что приложение сделано в Казахстане,
when we say that the application is made in Kazakhstan, it does not mean that it will be used only in Kazakhstan, or it will be popular only among Kazakhstanis. In fact, this market is unlimited, and this industry, it is boundless. Once the application falls into one of the shops in the App Store or the Google Market, it is available for the whole world. If you do not restrict its use only for Kazakhstan. So here we can speak not only of Kazakhstan. Yes, we're proud that it was produced here, but it is available for the entire world.
Мы не можем говорить о принадлежности только Казахстану. Да, мы горды тем, что это делается в Казахстане, но это делается в Казахстане для всего мира.
Kazakhstan Entrepreneurship Development Fund DAMU announced that this category business will have specialist status, of which allows to make financially resources more accessible, including consultancy support. Also, the administration of Almaty expressed their willingness to cooperate. The result of the demo day, the jury determined the 5 winners. It should be noted that last year, the winner of the incubator now lives in Silicon Valley and interns at Google. This was Global Talk. See you soon on Kazakh TV.